The scheduler is where most of the decisions are made. By clicking on the internet symbol, will launch your origin and destination into the appropriate internet fields, without the driver typing any information at all. The drive link, the scheduler has its own built-in mapping system. This mapping system is not included with the Maximizer TM system. Map It will locate any truck stop closest to the end of driver's hours of service, or Map It will locate all truck stops that are within route in case fatigue sets in. Our program will also display all truck stops up to the destination in case of an emergency, which will prevent theft or vandalism in more dangerous areas. Map It can also display any resting point just by clicking the resting point button within the mapping program. Map It can display the cheapest fuel stops, which is based on the color-coded areas of the mapping system. By viewing the fuel ledger will show you what areas of the map has the cheapest fuel for constant savings each and every day. 6. The location link. By clicking in the origin or destination fields, and then clicking your mouse onto the location link, will reveal the picture-like image of the location that you are going to. Not all addresses will have this capability. By dragging the yellow-like image of a man to any blue outline area will enable you to see the exact area that you are delivering to or picking up, and this will assure that that point of interest is in fact in a business field environment. Trip Planner purpose is to enable pre-plans to be entered in 2 minutes or less. Enable drivers to adjust certain fields for legal status. Identify violations immediately. Alert drivers if trip exceeds the 11-hour rule. Enable drivers to adjust the speed that they are accustomed to while monitoring the hours of service at the same time. Helps driver to maintain the time zone of his company's domicile. Example, driver's company domicile is located in the Central Time Zone. It shows in the origin that the shipper is located in the Eastern Time Zone. So based on the pre-planned, driver enters the exact time shown into the start time field, and then hit the enter key on his keyboard. The time zone automatically adjusts to the driver's company domicile. Fuel administrator functions. 1. Enable Trip Planner to estimate fuel needed for the entire trip.
2. Determining how much fuel is needed to the next fuel stop, or how much is needed to the destination. To do this, open personal information and enter the miles that your truck gets based on your driving habits. Now click on the logger link and then the fuel meter button. Based on the gauge, you can see how many miles and gallons you may travel per level. By selecting the fuel stops label, the highway that you are traveling on, and then the fuel stations, which is linked to the states field, will enable any driver to locate whatever fuel stops that are on that highway along with the associated prices for that day. Because any driver can manually customize the fuel stops by selecting yes in the company fuel stops field, will enable drivers to choose whatever truck stop that they want, and it can facilitate any fuel discounts by all drivers of that company fueling at only those selected fuel stops across the country.
You're now ready to give your fleet manager or dispatcher a 2-week notice because you're ready to go on vacation, and you want to know how many miles and hours you can drive up to that point. To determine that, simply enter the total hours you can work each day up to the 2-week period. In a normal 70-hour work week, if we change that 59 miles per hour to a 68 miles per hour and deselect and reselect our numbers here, as you can see, it still shows the 124 hours, but now you can drive up to 8,432 miles based on 68 miles per hour. If you wish not to drive this 8,432 miles for that 2-week period, simply put in a bid to your fleet manager or dispatcher at what total miles you are willing to drive of this 8,432 miles to achieve the mileage that you are satisfied with by the end of your 2-week notice. Here's an indication of what it will look like if violations were to occur. As you can see here, that the driver has been in violation since February the 13th. Maximizer also has the capability of getting the driver back into a legal state by simply typing only the hours that are located in the -70 field for the next day, which would be just 3 in this case. If the driver only drives 3 hours on this day and he hit enter, he would immediately go into a legal status after being in violation
A majority of communication devices are created to control drivers' ability to make money. These devices are set up to inform the employers and law officials of drivers' inability to follow the FMCSA rules and regulations. This is why over 300,000 drivers are hired every year to replace those of us who gain too many points. The system as it is designed creates no resolution on how to not create the violations in the first place, and therefore offers no job stability. Maximizer TM will give you the ability to take control of your destiny by assisting you in making the right decisions of all circumstances deriving from your hours of service. If you were to perform this simple calculation, you'll see that speed is not a need, but what we have come to think is necessary. Here's the calculation. If you were to drive 59 miles per hour, in a 70-hour work week would be equivalent to 4,130 miles that you can drive within that time span. By managing your hours per trip, you would not only will have no need for speed, but you will also increase your fuel savings at the same time by knowing what to do and when to do it. Maximizer TM was not created to do the work for you. As bad weather approaches and driving conditions are almost impossible, Mapit will instantly reveal all the truck stops at a glance, and will enable you to shut down your units until the worst has passed, and with just a few clicks of the mouse will display the new time to your delivery for on-time delivery with 90% accuracy. Never put your company's freight, your life, or business in jeopardy again by using the only trucking software that caters strictly to the truckers, while enabling the companies to monitor and assist in getting the load there with very few late deliveries, incidents, or accidents. Contact your Maximizer TM representative today. Receive your very own fully functional copy of Maximizer TM software, the only trucker-friendly software around today that is catered to your specific needs. Let Maximizer TM do what you don't have the time to do.